You know what? I'd rather have pies. Thanks, Leigh-anne. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
You know what they say?
What?
When a girl gets married, she eats a pie. I'd like one.
I'll make you one.
We're making pastry in the kitchen this morning because our theme is pies. So how do I get started?
Well, first of all, we need to get the flour into the processor.
Okay. Could I stir it? Do I have to use a processor?
You can't stir it. You have to actually work the flour with your fingertips and rub it in that way.
Okay, no problem.
And just using your fingertips.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's give it a little bit of salt.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch or two.
You always put 2 in.
Yeah, well. And then I think we could probably put the butter in. Now the butter needs to be quite cold and hard.
Why is that?
Well, because then it doesn't oil when you work it into the pastry.
Okay. I see that there's other ingredients here too.
Now we'll add them. We'll just give it a little pulse.
Of course, later on, we're going to use our pastry that we're creating here to make a beautiful French dish. And instead of saying good morning, we'll give you a very good bonjour.
Bonjour. Yeah.
And put it all together in a beautiful recipe. What are you adding in now?
We're going to add some thyme in here. Just,
okay. And I see what you mean by keeping the butter cold. It's worked through its way, okay?
Yeah, it's made it sort of like coarse breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of the softer mush,
more
if you can call it that. Yeah.
Now that, we'll take that out. Because if we can get it out.
Try turn it. I use this all the time.
Right, here we go.
All right.
So we'll turn it on slow, and then we'll just add the water.
Add some water, okay. So of course you can create this at home as well.
And
we'll give you the keyword.
Look, the pastry all comes together.
The keyword for today is fresh. So fresh to 33728 to create your pastry. And of course, we're going to make a meat dish after this. Our theme being pies in the kitchen today. And we'll create our pie later on. Careful that blade at the bottom.
Yeah, that's, you see, perfect.
So look at that.
We've got a nice pastry.
So we've got our pastry together. It smells really good. I can see why you added some of the, is it thyme?
Thyme, yes.
Okay, yeah.
So that you can now just pull together, make it up into a square, wrap it up in cling wrap, pop it in the fridge just to firm up a little bit.
Why do you put it back in the fridge?
Well, it firms it up then.
Okay.
It makes it easier for you to roll it out.
Okay, okay.
And so then what you do is you land up with a piece of pastry like this.
Which smells delicious.
Perfect
and it's,
circle.
Yes, I like
which will go
this.
on top of the pie.
On top of the pie later on. So our keyword again is fresh. Fresh to 33728 to make sure that you get a list of the ingredients to recreate, of course, our pastry to make a pie with. Now, after the break, we're making a delicious French dish. Of course, our theme being pies in our espresso kitchen this morning. We'll be back with our French dish after the break.
Goodness can be found in encouraging greatness at the Junior Runners Academy in Soweto. Pick and Pay, always there for you.
Welcome back to Espresso. This is your feel-good breakfast show. We're in the kitchen and our theme for today is pies. Now, before the break, we created a beautiful, beautiful pastry. Michael also just shared with me, in order to get it really, really crisp, you can add some lard to it. So instead of the whole butter mix, you add some lard to it.
With lard.
Now listen, this is going to be extremely tasty. This time around, we're making, of course, the inside of it. And I should say, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Leigh-anne. Ça va?
Ça va très bien, merci.
Très bien. So we're making a beef pie, basically, but you call it something else.
Well, it's called a beef Bourguignon pie.
A beef Bourguignon pie.
Yeah. And that's a Bourguignon is a part of France, Burgundy, where the lighter reds come from.
Okay.
Right. So we're going to add here now the celery.
Okay, so celery into a pan that's been...
oil. Yeah, and this is the pan that we browned the meat in.
Yeah. So you want to keep the flavors going?
Yep.
Yeah.
Carrots.
Of course.
Garlic.
Your favorite.
Oh.
I can see you've even left them whole. You just literally cut the cloves in little pieces.
Well, they're going to cook down during the cooking process.
It's not like you're getting a piece of cardamom in your mouth.
No. Or a clove.
No. Well, that looks really delicious. Now, before the break, I gave the keyword fresh. Fresh to 33728. Now, if you get the list of the ingredients, you automatically go into our draw as well for the Pick and Pay Fresh Living magazine. So make sure you SMS that keyword, not just to get a link to the recipe, but also to go into our draw. What else goes into our pot?
Well, the onions are going to go in now.
So you put them in whole?
Whole baby onions.
Okay.
So they just make a nice little sort of textural difference inside in the pie itself.
I always thought if you don't get a piece of chicken or meat, you get an onion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now,
we put them
the
together.
other thing, of course, is that this recipe is available in the Fresh Living August edition of Fresh Living magazine. So you don't have to go searching for it.
For it, okay. You've added some bacon, I guess,
I
for
put the
taste.
bacon in. Yeah, this is just going to give us extra taste. Now we're going to do the whole thing and we're going to pop the meat back.
You put it back. So you browned it beforehand.
Yes.
And you want to put it back again.
Now we're going to cook it. What you can do if you like, this hasn't been done here, but what you can do if you like is to cut it at this stage, cut it into little blocks,
Okay.
and then just make the whole thing easier.
Some
So we'll do
seasoning,
some pepper.
some more
do some
salt, even though
salt.
we've got salt in our pastry that we made earlier.
Yep.
If you just joined in, we made a pastry earlier, a beautiful, beautiful homemade pastry. Of course, one that we're going to use in our pie. We're making a beef pie at the moment, and we're literally creating the inside. Of die binnegoed, soos wat ons dit noem, in Afrikaans.
So we've got some tomato paste.
So some tomato paste on top of it, and what is that? Our
this is
stock
our
pot?
stock
Okay.
pot.
Now it's already very flavorant, and
Yes.
there's already some. Would you want to
Just
add a stock
building
to it?
flavors, for
Just
sure.
building
Yeah,
flavors,
you
okay.
pull the top off that one.
Okay, I'll do this in the meantime. Of
And
course,
then here we've got our red wine.
that makes it our dish. Of course, our beef. What did you call it earlier?
Bourguignon.
Bourguignon. Now I see that your wine is darker than a Pinot Noir.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, classically a Pinot Noir is used, but this one's a... There we go.
There we go.
This one's a Cabernet.
This is a Cabernet, but you
Yeah.
can use a different wine. I
You
guess.
can, absolutely. And then you can tie a little sort of thing of herbs
I love how
together
you've
with
done
thyme, with parsley and rosemary. And of course, the
together.
convenient thing is that you can take it out at the end.
Yeah. Okay, and you
So
put
you
it in
pop
there.
that in and just bury it down
How long do you
in the
leave
middle.
this for?
This you need to leave for quite a while. This is probably gently about an hour-ish or so.
Oh wow! So it's going to make
So
it really,
makes it
really,
really,
yum.
really tender. Yeah.
So, of course, this is available, and you can get, as you heard, it in our Pick and Pay Fresh Living magazine, or you can just SMS the keyword fresh to 33728 to make sure that you get a link to the recipe.
So-
and, of course, going to the draw for our Pick
Here
and
we
Pay
go.
Fresh
This is
Living
now
magazine as well.
completely cooked, and you see the onions do break down a
Yeah,
little bit.
they go
Yeah.
soft and they do break down.
One of
What
the
do we
things-
do next?
All right, now we're going to put the pie in here.
Yeah.
Let's add the mushrooms here.
All right, and that's
So
busy
we've got-
cooking. Do I have to check on this? I guess not.
I
Okay,
think,
that's
yeah.
fine, yeah.
Right. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to put the sheet of pastry on the top.
Okay, so we made
But
this
we
pastry earlier.
We want to hold the pastry up in the middle, and that's what my grandmother used to use.
Little ornaments,
It's called a pie funnel.
of course.
Isn't it cute?
I know what this is. A pie funnel.
Absolutely. And she used to put it in the middle of the pie like that and would hold the
Right.
pastry up. But you can't buy these anymore. So they've got these cute little pastry birds now that you can get, and you just pop it into the middle. So what we'll do is we'll just take that little bird out the way
Okay,
there.
I'm taking the bird out. We're putting all our
And we're gonna put
lovely,
the-
lovely insides in there.
the filling in.
Oh, it looks great, Michael. Look at what the carrots have done, hey?
The whole thing is just cooked down with lots of...
Delicious.
Massive, lovely
So how do we
flavour.
stick this in?
Well, let me just get this organized here. And then we just pop him in the middle.
Pop it in the middle to make
Yep.
sure that your pastry can stand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just put the pastry on around his shoulders.
Okay.
How's
So how
that?
do we get it on top? Do you have time to do
We
that?
flip it on. We flip it on.
Go for it, Michael. Go for it. Come on. Time will be running out. Our keyword for today is fresh. Fresh to 33728. It smells amazing. It's mouth-watering. I can't tell you. So that goes on top. And I see how it's keeping it up, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
And we can just make him peep through.
Sweet.
Isn't that cute?
Very cute. All right.
And then
So
there
it
we
goes
are.
around.
And just press it
How
down,
long do you put that back
and
in the
you
oven?
just-
Because it's fairly cooked. The
This-
only thing that
it's-
needs
it's-
cooking is really our
The pastry
pastry.
needs to be cooked. That's probably sort of about 30 to 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
And
And
then we
it
just
makes
need
a
a knife.
delicious pie.
And then we just cut.
Cut the edges off.
Cut the
Of course, our
edges.
end result is over here. A beautifully made pie that's already been done. And I like the fact that there's a bone in the middle of this one
Yes,
that
you
kept
could-
up the pastry. But this is what it looks like when it's completed. And of course, you can also create this and recreate that beautiful, beautiful recipe. Let's take a look at how we created all of this.
Pulse together flour, butter, thyme, and salt. Slowly add water to form a dough, then refrigerate. Season and toss meat in flour, then brown in oil. Fry bacon, then set aside. Saute onions, celery, carrots, then add garlic. Return meat and bacon, then add tomato paste, stock, wine, bay leaves and herbs. Cover and simmer for 3 hours before adding mushrooms. Cover the filling with pastry, cutting a hole to expose the shin bone. Brush with egg, then bake at 180 degrees Celsius until golden brown.
Our keyword is fresh to 33728 to make sure that you get a link to the recipe and also stand in line to win the Pick and Pay Fresh Living magazine and of course a 6-month subscription of that. Now you can do all kinds of things with this pastry. Michael just explained to me you could put another layer around and make sure that the edges stand up. Of course, traditions from years and years back from Oma and Oma sa Oma.
Absolutely.
And you can do all kinds of things. That keyword again, fresh to 33728 to create our beautiful, beautiful pie. Well, from the kitchen and of course our theme for today, pies, to katlego. What are you up to?
We found goodness in goed gedacht olive oil and all the good they do for the community. Pick and Pay, always there for you.